Hey, my friends, how are you? Jeff Yalden here, youth motivational speaker, teen mental health, and teen suicide prevention crisis intervention expert. Welcome to episode number 4, establishing yourself as a speaker in a very niche market, kind of like really honing in on who you are and your market. Let me tell you why I I believe in this, and I think it's really important. So many years ago, I got into the youth market. Got out of the Marine Corps. That's where my passion was. I was teaching, I was coaching, and I'm just really passionate about working with teenagers because, like I tell my audience, my life from 15 to 24, 25 years old was a wreck. And back then, when you're young, you don't really know how to take responsibility. What exactly does that mean? And so you blame it on everyone else. And as you get older, you come to realize that, I probably had a lot to do with that. So here I am, 47 years old. And for many years, I kept talking to myself and other people. I'm like, I mean, do I still relate to young people? I mean, am I in the right market? Am I going to have to start thinking about something else to do? Will young people listen to me? And I was talking to a dear friend of mine who's another youth speaker, David Flood, and he's actually older than me. Also another dear friend who I've got the most incredible amount of respect for. He's been around a long time. He's a legend, Phil Boyd, and I think Phil's older than me too. And he's still killing it. For me, I'll tell you what I'm realizing. The older I get, the better educator I am. I feel like I'm more present, I'm more engaged, uh, I'm having more fun. And I think because it's the wisdom and experience, it's the, it's not that I don't care anymore. But when you're a younger speaker and you're kind of going through these phases of success and everything, you're like, you want to be liked, you want good reviews. I still want to be liked. I still want good reviews. I think the point I'm trying to make is I care about the teachable moment. And as a result of caring about that, I think as long as I want to work in education, I think I have the opportunity. So my simple point here is don't let age be a factor. If anything, age is giving you that wisdom and experience. I think people take you more seriously. Okay, back to my point. That like niche market. Listen, when you're starting out, I want you're a youth speaker. Dude, I get it. However, everybody's a youth speaker. And so if you're unavailable to do a gig, well, it's really no problem. They're just going to go find another youth speaker. So as you're a youth speaker and you might be starting out, you're 1, 2, 5 years into the business, I want you to start thinking about where is your passion? Like, what is the message you really want to hone in on and be that expert in that field? You say, well, how are you an expert? I remember being in a conference and I was in a breakout session with Mark Victor Hansen, and it was awesome. This was when the Chicken Soup for the Soul books were really big. And he said, if you study for 6 months one subject every single day, you're an expert. So, okay, I've taken that advice. My passion happens to be mental health. The audience I love working with is teenagers and parents. And as a result of the work with teenagers and parents, I love working with coaches. I love working with teachers. I love working with community because everybody, school community, is about our teenagers. So, excuse me, it's been on the road a lot. Got that like kind of head cold. So my passion, mental health. I love working with teens, so it's teen mental health. I was suicidal at a couple points in my life, 16, 21. My therapist at 45 years old was concerned after I went through my spinal cord fusion, my diabetes, my weight loss. She said, you know, Jeff, my biggest concern for you was I was worried that you might be suicidal. And I don't think I was. I was in some bad shape, but I've never been afraid to ask for help. So I'm really passionate about my audience of teenagers and those who work with teenagers. So as I became more aware of the fact that I'm a man that lives with mental illness, it just made sense to me to be like, you know what? I don't just want to be a youth speaker, but I want to be like, I want to work in teen mental health. And so, in my journey of working with teen mental health, I've decided to go back to school. I'm taking all of these courses, I'm getting all these certifications, and I love it. I love the learning, I love the growing. I love learning a lot more about me and my self care and my mental health. And so all of the education, all of the therapy, the certifications, the understanding of practical application as I use it on me is giving me all of the tools and the resources and the education and certification to be using it with my audience. And so what's now happened is I'm becoming that guy that mental health therapists, crisis intervention counselors are coming to saying, hey, Jeff, listen, we, the kids don't talk to us. And I'm the guy that's like, yeah, I know. Our young, well, I don't need to get into that, but first of all, you have to understand today's young people. And as a youth speaker, you're getting a really good understanding that today's young people are a little bit more socially isolated. They have greater difficulty in trusting adults, even teachers and parents today. So I think you have to understand that no, they're not going to come to you, but how can you go to them and you initiate the conversation and time, patience, and trust? You're going to get kids to trust you and they're going to be willing to open up to you. And so as I'm doing this recording for you, I'm on my way to Atchison, Kansas, because Atchison, Kansas had a couple suicides most recently. And so all of a sudden, the community is reaching out to me, and I got a couple of very serious inquiries. So I reached out to them. I did a quick video for them, and then a couple of people like, "Hey Jeff, listen, what do we got to do to get you out here? When can we get you out here?" So boom, 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 contact, listen to their needs, share with them where I think I can help. Here's the fee, boom, not a problem. And here's why: when you're that specialist, when you're that expert, and you work on your testimonials, you get your videos, you work on your content, you put it out there, people are like, legit, straight up legit, man. Everyone else is saying, awesome, great experience, the best. So here I am. It wasn't easy. No, especially in mental health. I actually think for a few years, my business declined a little bit because people like, whoa, he openly admits that he lives with mental illness. I've actually had some people invite me on the phone, like, hey, so Jeff, listen, we're bringing you out here for like 1,500 kids. We've just had 12 suicides, but yet you talk about your mental illness. And listen, I just, my question, forgive me for asking, but have you ever had any episodes like while you were on campus? You know what? I appreciate the transparency. I appreciate the school administration, superintendent, for being very open and direct and saying, hey, I got to ask you this question. I get it. And yeah, like I said, I really appreciate it because you got to protect yourself. They got to protect themselves. And so, yeah, I think my business declined a little bit. But I think as I started really working on me, my material, the message, I think today it's like I had to go through all of that. I had to go through all of that to just trying to get my speed limit. Like I'm in Massachusetts on my way to the airport. My flight was canceled in Bangor because of the incoming weather. So I had to drive Bangor to Boston. It's another part of being a speaker. And so there we go. I'm trying to get it under. I feel like I'm flying, but I'm not flying. So again, in short, trying to get my car to slow down. In short, I want to ask you what you can do to find that niche market. So let's say you're, you're passionate about sports. I've got a few friends speakers that, played college football, tried to make it to the NFL. And so obviously sports, nutrition, leadership, they're really passionate about. Now, leadership is something that's, it's a little bit more just, it's bigger. So, like, where can you hone in on leadership, college sports? What about scholarships or something where you can talk to athletes or um, maybe like National Honors Society? I didn't say that right. I want to, where is your passion? What motivates and drives you? And I want you to find a way to really zone in there because I want you to be the expert. And now it's like, if you're not available, they're going to be very patient. They're going to wait. They're going to be like, okay, what dates do you have available? So for me, as like the mental health guy, the teen suicide, there is a pretty good window when they can bring me in when I'm available. And the other thing, I can charge a little bit more money because they know that, hey, this is the guy that we want. So um, I want to encourage you to do a couple things. Number one, at 25, 28 years old, I don't really know how seriously you'll be taken as the expert. So I think it's important, establish yourself as a youth speaker. Speak at all different venues, middle schools, high schools, leadership conferences, DECA, FCCLA, FHA, FFA, FBLA, um, 4-H, Hugh O'Brien, camps, student council, go to the CTSOs, um, and just have a good, a broad range of your speaking, where you're speaking, the audience you're speaking to. I think that is really important. And as you get older, start really thinking about where your message is going to be. Who is that niche audience? I hope I'm not being redundant here in talking about it, but when you do that, I think you get to speak less, but for more money, which means you travel less, but you make more, which means you're home more, which means you can work on greater content, doing videos and writing and blogging and creating a team around you. So, hey, I hope I was able to give you some good information. Make sure you're on the Jeff Yalden Speaker Mastermind Facebook page. And also, if you're interested in my online course, how to make $2,500 to $5,000 a day, go to my website, jeffyalden.com/, youth speakers course. Check it out. Take care, my friends.